Hello, my best students, and welcome again to your channel, Native Flow. Today, we are going to talk about something that is quietly changing millions of lives around the world, online business. And honestly, most people still do not fully understand how deeply English is connected to this modern digital world. Because today, you can build a business from your bedroom. You can work with people from different countries. You can sell digital products, create content, build a brand, start freelancing, launch an online store, or even grow a YouTube channel without ever opening a traditional office. But here is the hidden truth many people discover too late. The internet speaks English, not completely, of course, but a massive part of the online business world still runs through English. The biggest courses, the newest business ideas, the best marketing strategies, the most powerful AI tools, the largest audiences, the global opportunities. Many of them appear in English first. And honestly, this gives English learners a huge advantage in the modern world, because learning English today is no longer only about travel or school. It is becoming a business skill, a communication skill, a money skill, a freedom skill. And in this episode, you will discover how English helps ordinary people create online opportunities they never imagined before. You will understand why English gives access to global audiences, how content creators use English to grow faster, why freelancers earn more with communication skills, how English unlocks business knowledge, and why many successful online entrepreneurs treat English as one of their most valuable tools. And while listening, you will also improve your English naturally through business vocabulary, storytelling, listening practice, and deep comprehension. So relax, listen carefully, and let's begin with chapter number 1. Why the internet itself gives English speakers a massive advantage. And before we start, my amazing students, if you're serious about improving your English and finally speaking with more confidence, I created something special for you. The Real English Fluency Pack is a complete collection of powerful English books designed to help you speak naturally, understand real English, build confidence, and improve step by step in a simple and practical way. And the best part, after joining, you'll also get exclusive access to our private WhatsApp community where I share future books, audiobooks, bonus resources, updates, and new English learning materials regularly. So if you truly want to transform your English and stop feeling stuck, the link is waiting for you in the description. Chapter number 1, why English gives people a massive advantage on the internet. Let's begin with one simple truth. The internet changed the meaning of opportunity forever. A few years ago, if somebody wanted to start a business, they usually needed money, an office, employees, connections, and sometimes even permission from big companies or institutions. But today, one person with a laptop and internet connection can build something global. And honestly, this is one of the biggest transformations in modern history, because now, a teenager in Morocco, a student in Brazil, a designer in India, or a freelancer in Egypt can work with clients from America, Europe, Asia, or anywhere else in the world. And here is the important part. Most of these opportunities happen in English. That's why English quietly became one of the most powerful online business skills. Now listen carefully, because this changes the way many people should think about learning English. English today is no longer only school vocabulary, grammar exercises, or passing exams. It is becoming digital access. Access to information, access to clients, access to audiences, access to business opportunities. And honestly, many people only realize this after they start entering the online world seriously. Now think about YouTube, for example. Some of the biggest educational channels, business channels, AI channels, marketing channels, technology creators publish their ideas in English first. The newest online trends often appear in English before they spread globally. That means English learners can access ideas earlier than people waiting for translated information. And in online business, speed matters. The faster you discover opportunities, the faster you can adapt. Now let's talk about freelancing. Today, millions of people make money online by offering services, video editing, graphic design, copywriting, translation, programming, social media management, voiceover work, and many other digital skills. But here's the hidden reality. Clients usually trust people who communicate clearly. And because international business often happens in English, communication becomes extremely valuable. Sometimes, two freelancers may have similar technical skills, but the freelancer with better English communication often gets more clients, better opportunities, higher prices, and stronger long-term relationships. Why? Because business is not only skill, it is communication. Now here's something fascinating psychologically. Many people think, I need perfect English before starting online. But honestly, that is not true at all. Many successful online workers do not speak perfect English. They simply communicate clearly enough to solve problems and build trust. That's a huge difference. And honestly, this should encourage many learners, because waiting for perfect fluency before taking action often delays opportunities unnecessarily. Now let's talk about content creation. This is one of the most powerful examples. A creator making videos in English can potentially reach people from Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, North America, and many other places at the same time. That global reach is enormous. And honestly, this is why many creators eventually decide to improve their English communication skills, because English dramatically expands audience size. Now here's another important truth. Most online business knowledge is heavily documented in English. Courses, books, forums, tutorials, AI tools, business communities. And when you understand English, you stop depending only on translated summaries. You can directly access original information. That creates a huge advantage, especially in fast-changing industries like AI, technology, digital marketing, online education, software, and content creation. Now think about artificial intelligence, for example. Most AI tools launch in English first. Most updates are explained in English first. Most advanced discussions happen in English first. So learners who understand English often adapt faster to new digital trends. And honestly, this can completely change career opportunities over time. Now here's something deeper. English also changes confidence online, because once people realize, I can communicate with the world, their mindset expands. They stop thinking only locally. Their imagination grows globally, and psychologically, that changes ambition. Suddenly, a small online project no longer feels impossible. A YouTube channel feels possible. Freelancing feels possible. Selling digital products feels possible. Building a brand feels possible. because communication barriers become smaller. And honestly, this is one reason why English often becomes connected to freedom emotionally for many learners. Not only language, possibility. Now, before we finish this first chapter, I want you to remember something important. The internet rewards people who can communicate, adapt, learn, and connect globally. And English helps people do all four. That does not mean English guarantees success automatically. Of course not. But it opens doors that many people never even realize exist. And in the next chapter, we are going to explore how English helps content creators, YouTubers, and online brands grow faster, and why storytelling and communication became more valuable online than many people expected. Chapter number 2. Why English helps content creators and online brands grow faster. Now let's talk about something that completely changed the modern internet: content creation. And honestly, many people still underestimate how powerful this industry became. A few years ago, becoming famous or building a media brand usually required television, big companies, radio stations, or expensive production teams. But today, one person with a phone, internet connection, and communication skills can build a global audience. That is incredible. And once again, English plays a massive role in this world because online platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, podcasts, blogs, all reward communication, not only information, communication. That means storytelling, clarity, emotion, connection, and speaking skills became extremely valuable online. And honestly, this is why many successful creators eventually focus heavily on improving their English. Not because English is superior, but because English gives access to larger global audiences. Now think about YouTube, for example. If somebody creates content only in a small local language, their audience may stay limited geographically. But creators using English can potentially reach millions of people from different countries at the same time. That changes everything. Now, here's something very important. Online audiences today are emotionally tired of robotic communication. People are surrounded by ads, AI-generated content, repetitive videos, fake energy, copied ideas. So creators who communicate naturally suddenly become much more valuable. And honestly, this is one reason storytelling became so powerful online, because human beings emotionally remember stories much more deeply than pure information. That's why some creators with simple editing still grow massively. Their communication feels real. Now let's talk about online business psychology for a moment. People do not only buy products online, they buy trust. Trust in the creator, trust in the personality, trust in the communication. And communication becomes much easier when creators can express ideas clearly in English. That's why many successful online entrepreneurs spend years improving, speaking, writing, storytelling, presentation, and emotional communication, because these skills directly affect audience loyalty, watch time, sales, brand identity, and community building. Now think about your own channel, for example. When people watch a long English learning podcast, they are not only learning vocabulary, they are emotionally connecting with your voice, your pacing, your energy, your storytelling style, your perspective. That emotional connection creates loyalty, and loyalty is one of the most valuable things in online business. Now, here's another important truth. English also helps creators learn faster from other successful creators globally. For example, a creator who understands English can study business channels, psychology creators, marketing experts, storytelling podcasts, AI educators, branding strategies directly from original sources. That dramatically improves learning speed. And honestly, this creates huge competitive advantage over time because the internet evolves extremely fast. Trends change quickly, algorithms change quickly, audience behavior changes quickly, and creators who adapt faster usually grow faster. Now let's talk about something fascinating. Many online creators are no longer only entertainers. They became educators, community builders, business owners, digital brands. Some creators sell courses, ebooks, coaching, memberships, digital products, software, consulting, and once again, English expands those possibilities globally. Now here's something deeper psychologically. English often changes how creators think about themselves. At first, many people create content only for local audiences, but after improving English, their mindset becomes bigger. They begin imagining international viewers, global communities, collaborations, bigger opportunities, and honestly, that psychological expansion matters a lot because ambition often grows when communication barriers become smaller. Now, let me tell you something important. The internet today rewards people who can hold attention, communicate clearly, tell stories, teach ideas emotionally, and build trust consistently. And these are all communication skills. That means English is not only a language skill anymore. It became part of marketing, branding, networking, education, and digital influence itself. Now here's another hidden truth. Some of the biggest creators online are not necessarily the smartest technically. Sometimes, they simply communicate ideas more clearly than others. That is powerful because many talented people stay invisible online, not because their ideas are bad, but because they struggle to explain those ideas emotionally and clearly. Communication multiplies value, and English increases communication reach globally. Now, before we finish this chapter, I want you to remember something important. In the modern digital world, communication became currency. The ability to explain, connect, teach, entertain, and inspire people can literally create careers online. And English helps expand that communication to the entire world. That is why millions of creators, freelancers, entrepreneurs, and online workers continue improving their English every single year. Not only for school, not only for grammar, but for opportunity. Chapter number 3, Why English Helps Freelancers Earn More Online. Now let's enter one of the biggest online industries in the world today, freelancing. And honestly, this industry completely changed the lives of millions of people globally because for the first time in history, many people no longer need to work only in their local city or local economy. Today, a designer in Morocco can work with a company in Canada. A video editor in Egypt can work with a YouTuber in America. A programmer in India can work with startups in Europe. A writer in Brazil can work with clients from anywhere in the world. And once again, English becomes the bridge connecting all of these opportunities together. Now, here's something very important. Most people think freelancing is only about technical skills. But honestly, communication often becomes even more important than the technical skill itself. because clients do not only want results, they want clarity, trust, professionalism, easy communication, and reliability. That's why freelancers with strong English communication often earn more long-term. Not always because they are more talented technically, but because clients feel comfortable working with them. And honestly, comfort creates business. Now imagine two freelancers. Both edit videos at similar quality, but one freelancer communicates clearly, answers professionally, understands instructions quickly, explains ideas confidently, and builds friendly conversation naturally, while the other struggles heavily with communication. Which one will clients trust more? Usually the first one, because business relationships are emotional too. People prefer working with individuals who make communication easy. Now here's another hidden truth. Many high-paying online clients come from international markets, where English is the primary communication language. That means English often directly affects earning potential online. And honestly, this is why many freelancers become extremely motivated to improve their English after entering online work. Because suddenly, language becomes connected to income and opportunity directly. Now let's talk about confidence. This is extremely important psychologically. At first, many people are afraid to communicate with international clients. They fear making mistakes, sounding awkward, not understanding perfectly, being judged. But over time, something interesting happens. Every conversation builds confidence. Every project improves communication speed. Every client interaction trains real-world English naturally. And honestly, this type of practical English learning becomes very powerful because the brain learns fastest when language is connected to real emotion and real purpose. Now here's something fascinating. Many freelancers improve their English faster after starting online work than during years of traditional school learning. Why? Because now English has emotional relevance. It becomes connected to money, freedom, career growth, real conversations, real opportunities. And the brain pays more attention to information that feels meaningful. That's powerful psychologically. Now let's talk about platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Freelancer, LinkedIn, remote work communities. Most of these ecosystems operate heavily in English. Profiles, client messages, project descriptions, negotiations, interviews. So freelancers who understand English gain easier access to global markets. And honestly, this creates huge long-term advantage. Now here's another important truth. English also helps freelancers learn skills much faster. For example, imagine someone learning video editing, graphic design, AI tools, marketing, coding, YouTube growth, copywriting. Most advanced tutorials and communities appear in English first. That means English learners often access better educational resources earlier. And in online industries, learning speed matters enormously. Now let's talk about networking. This is something many beginners ignore. Online success is not only about skill, it is also about relationships, connections, communities, collaborations, recommendations, and English expands networking possibilities dramatically because suddenly you can connect with people from all over the world. That changes opportunities completely. And now here's something deeper psychologically. Freelancing often changes how people see themselves. A person who once believed, I can only work locally, suddenly realizes, I can work globally. That mindset shift becomes powerful emotionally. Because exposure changes ambition. And honestly, this is one reason English feels emotionally liberating for many online workers. Not because the language itself is magical, but because it removes invisible limitations. Now let me tell you something very important. Perfect English is not required to succeed online. This matters a lot. Many successful freelancers still make grammar mistakes sometimes, but they communicate clearly enough to solve problems and create trust. That is what matters most. Clarity, professionalism, reliability, not perfection. Now, before we finish this chapter, I want you to remember something important. The online world rewards people who can solve problems, communicate clearly, learn quickly, and connect globally. And English strengthens all four. That's why millions of freelancers continue improving their English every year, not only to sound impressive, but to increase opportunity, freedom, and independence. Chapter number 4: How English Unlocks Digital Knowledge and Future Opportunities. Now let's talk about something extremely important that many people do not realize immediately. English does not only help people communicate online, it helps people learn faster online. And honestly, this may be one of the biggest hidden advantages of speaking English in the modern world, because today, knowledge moves incredibly fast. New business strategies appear constantly. AI tools evolve every month. Marketing trends change rapidly. New technologies emerge almost every week. And most of this information spreads through English first. Now think about artificial intelligence, for example. The biggest AI discussions, updates, tutorials, communities, and tool launches usually appear in English before anything else. That means English learners often discover opportunities earlier than others. And in digital business, being early matters a lot. Now here's something fascinating. Many successful online entrepreneurs spend huge amounts of time learning continuously because online industries evolve quickly. And honestly, people who stop learning usually fall behind very fast. That's why access to information became one of the most valuable advantages in the digital economy. And English unlocks enormous amounts of that information. Now let's talk about online courses. Millions of people today learn business, marketing, copywriting, branding, video editing, design, AI, coding, finance, and communication skills through online education. But here's the important reality. Some of the highest quality educational content online is available mainly in English. This means English learners can access better explanations, more advanced communities, larger educational libraries, and faster updates. And honestly, this compounds over time, because small learning advantages repeated over years create huge differences in knowledge and opportunity. Now, here's another important truth. English also changes problem-solving ability online. Imagine somebody building an online business who encounters a technical problem, a website issue, an editing problem, a marketing challenge, a software bug. A person who understands English can immediately search globally for solutions. Forums, tutorials, YouTube videos, communities, documentation. That dramatically increases learning speed. And honestly, this is one reason why English often becomes psychologically connected to independence online. Because instead of waiting for local explanations, people begin solving problems themselves globally. Now let's talk about remote work. This industry exploded worldwide in recent years. Companies now hire employees remotely from different countries for customer service, design, programming, content creation, virtual assistants, marketing, social media, education, and many other roles. And once again, English communication often becomes essential, not because every company is American or British, but because English became the shared communication language between international teams. Now imagine a remote company with workers from Germany, Brazil, India, Morocco, Japan, Turkey. What language will most likely connect everyone together? Usually English. That's why English became deeply connected to modern digital collaboration. Now here's something deeper psychologically. Learning English often changes people's relationship with the future itself, because suddenly the world feels bigger, more accessible, more connected. A person no longer thinks only, what jobs exist near me? They start thinking, what opportunities exist globally? That mindset shift is powerful emotionally because opportunity expands imagination, and imagination changes ambition. Now let's talk about AI and automation for a moment. Many people are afraid that technology will remove jobs completely. And honestly, some industries will absolutely change dramatically. But communication skills are becoming even more valuable in this new AI world. Why? Because AI gives information, but humans still create connection, emotion, storytelling, leadership, trust, community, and creativity. And English strengthens those abilities globally. That's why many online entrepreneurs today focus heavily on personal branding, communication, storytelling, education, content creation, and audience trust. These human skills are becoming extremely valuable digitally. Now here's another hidden truth. English also helps people adapt faster emotionally to change because exposure to global content increases awareness, perspective, flexibility, and understanding of trends. And psychologically, adaptability became one of the most important survival skills in the modern economy. The internet changes too quickly for rigid thinking. Now let me tell you something very important. You do not need to become a perfect native speaker to benefit massively from English online. This matters a lot. Sometimes people delay action for years waiting for perfect fluency. But progress often happens through use, through practice, through communication, through real-world exposure. And honestly, many successful online entrepreneurs improve their English while building their business at the same time. Not before, during. Now, before we finish this chapter, I want you to remember something important. English is no longer only a school subject. It became a digital tool, a business tool, a learning tool, a networking tool, and for many people, a freedom tool. Because in today's online world, the people who can learn globally, communicate globally, and adapt globally often create the biggest opportunities for themselves. Chapter number 5. Why English is becoming one of the most valuable skills of the future. Now let's finish this journey with something very important. The world is changing faster than most people realize. Technology is evolving, AI is growing, remote work is expanding, digital businesses are increasing everywhere, and honestly, communication is becoming one of the most valuable human skills in the modern economy. Not only technical knowledge, communication, because information today is everywhere. AI can generate text, AI can create images, AI can answer questions, but human beings still deeply value trust, personality, storytelling, leadership, emotion, and connection. And English helps people express all of these things globally. That's why English is becoming connected to opportunity more than ever before. Now think about this carefully. 20 years ago, many people learned English mainly for travel, school, or traditional jobs. But today, English is becoming connected to content creation, remote work, freelancing, online education, AI tools, business growth, personal branding, and global networking. That is a huge transformation. Now, here's something fascinating psychologically. People who improve their English often start changing internally too, not only linguistically, mentally, because language exposes people to new ideas, cultures, business models, mindsets, perspectives, and opportunities. And honestly, this often expands ambition itself. A person who once believed, I can only work in my local environment, may suddenly realize, I can build something online for the world. That realization changes confidence deeply. Now let's talk about online business again. One of the biggest advantages of the internet is leverage. This is powerful. In traditional jobs, people usually exchange time directly for money. But online, one piece of content can reach millions. One digital product can sell repeatedly. One skill can create opportunities globally. And communication becomes central to all of this because online success often depends on explaining ideas clearly, building trust, holding attention, creating emotional connection, and teaching effectively. That's why English became extremely valuable in the creator economy. Now, here's another important truth. The future will probably reward adaptability more than stability. This is very important psychologically. Industries will continue changing rapidly. New tools will appear constantly. Old systems may disappear. And the people who adapt fastest often succeed fastest. English helps adaptation because it gives direct access to global information and communities. That creates flexibility, and flexibility becomes powerful in uncertain economies. Now, let me tell you something very honest. Many people still underestimate themselves online. They think, I'm too late. The market is too competitive. I'm not special enough. My English is not perfect. But honestly, many successful online creators and entrepreneurs started with bad cameras, weak confidence, limited skills, broken English, small audiences. What changed their future was not perfection. It was consistency and communication. That matters deeply. Because online business is often less about being perfect and more about being useful, authentic, and consistent long enough for growth to happen. Now, here's something beautiful about English learning in the digital age. Every improvement creates compound advantages. Better English helps better learning. Better learning helps better skills. Better skills create better opportunities. Better opportunities increase confidence, and confidence encourages bigger action. That cycle becomes extremely powerful over time. Now, think about your own future. Maybe English helps you. Grow a YouTube channel, start freelancing, build a digital brand, launch an online course, work remotely, learn AI tools faster, or communicate with people from all over the world. The possibilities are enormous now. And honestly, this is why millions of people continue learning English every year despite difficulty. Because deep down, many people understand something important. English is no longer only a language. It became access to global knowledge, global communication, global opportunity. Now, before we finish this episode, I want you to remember something forever. You do not need to become perfect overnight. You do not need a perfect accent. You do not need to know every grammar rule before starting. What matters most is continuing to improve little by little while using the language in real life. Because every conversation, every video, every lesson, every practice session slowly expands your world. And honestly, that may be one of the most powerful things about learning English today. It does not only change how you speak, sometimes it changes how you see your future completely. Thank you so much for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Native Flow for more deep English learning podcasts about business, psychology, technology, communication, and personal growth. Keep learning, keep building, and keep growing your future.